Hey everyone, welcome back to my video blog. I know it's been quite some time since my last video. I apologize for this. All excuses aside, I could ramble on for days, but what I really want to say is that I love my iPhone. At the same time, I hate my iPhone. Like I said, all of that aside, I want to focus today my video on a little bit of analysis into what I just released in my market report, okay? So for more detail, obviously check that out. It's available on my website for my market report. But today's video is kind of a brief synopsis of that. And so what I want to look at is supply. And currently there's 234 listings on the market. 169 came to market over the third quarter. And so when we look at those numbers, obviously that means very little when you don't compare it to other stats, which is exactly why you need to check out my report. But what I want to focus on is the fact that ever since 2008, year after year, our market has produced more supply than the previous year. So unless demand follows suit with that trend, we're going to end up with an overabundance of supply, which we currently have as a result of demand not following the same trend as what our supply is currently doing. So in that sense, we do currently have an overabundance of supply. And when we look at demand, 83 transactions happened over the last third quarter that we've currently just gone through, okay? So in reality, our demand is relatively stable compared to any other third quarter on record, okay? Which means our demand, although stable, is not following the trend of supply of ever increasing. If it was, we could say we're having a bigger market, our market is increasing, but that's not the case. Our demand is staying stable. So with that in mind, the cost and availability of capital is also a factor that plays into this. And since our July 15th announcement that the Bank of Canada reduced the overnight rate to 0.5%, it's been relatively stable in terms of the cost of getting capital to purchase homes. That being said, CMHC not necessarily has increased restrictions, but they have made it become very scrutinous in looking at the files, which makes it super important that your banker, your mortgage broker, is developing a case for you and submitting those files complete and as accurately as possible to prove your case. So with those three factors all being, I would say, relatively stable with the exception of supply increasing and the availability maybe becoming a little more difficult than what we would expect, between all of those factors, where we've seen the biggest hit is the median sale price reduction. So over this last quarter, our median sale price has been reduced to $251,000, which is, I think, fair for our market based on what to expect. However, when we look at the start of this year, it was up over the 300 mark for median sale price. And so that reduction is a direct result of an overabundance of supply. And although transactions are still happening, not at the same level as properties are coming to market, and decrease in cost of capital, but increase in increased levels of scrutiny from CMHC. All in all, I think the important message to take from this market report is that our market is fine. It's working as it's intended. Our macro factors are confusing right now. Things with the election, what's happening with LNG, what's happening overall in Dawson Creek. And so that's a video for another day. But at the same time, when the macro environment is confusing, our market is as it is, it's important to know our position in the market. And so if you're looking to sell, be prepared that right now you're looking at listing at an appealing price for a buyer, otherwise you're not going to sell. From a buyer's standpoint, when you're going into that negotiation, be a little bit more aggressive. Take chances because there is a lot of supply to choose from. Might be another option for you, but most importantly, there's a good chance that property will negotiate to a price a lot more appealing for your needs. And as an investor, if you're not buying right now, you're crazy. In my eyes, as I do feel like our market will rebound to a higher median sale price and transactions will pick up. But right now, it is most certainly a buyer's market, and we can take advantage of that. So as always, stay tuned to my videos upcoming so that you can stay up to date with real estate in Dawson Creek. If you want to get a copy of my housing market report emailed to you, fire me a text, shoot me an email, and I will be happy to send that off for you. Okay, everyone, have a great day.